I was really good to us back then. We went on KHBN and did a whole other interview. You know, I'm just saying, you know, I consider that was like on the back burner type deal. I said, well, with God ready to kind of use us again for that, you know, and like I said, this is what happened.
You know, those accidental type things. We're thinking it's accidental, but God's providence brings you with those people in that moment, at that time, for that. Brought this moment at this time for this. So it certainly was an accident. Beautiful music.
And I will say, as far as that goes, you know, in a lot of my experiences, I've had quite a few of these type of experiences. But you know, when something comes to you, you know, it's great that you get the opportunity to just be involved with. But when you're involved in things from the seed, you know, from the ground up, a lot of times, then you get, you know, more rain as far as these things going. Then you get more opportunity, you know, to bring it to fruition. You know, so it's always great, you know, when you get the opportunity to just get a piece of somebody else's, you know, what they got going on, the opportunity to get involved, and you know, that's great. So, but like I said, I've been in those situations before, and it's always great. But when you want to take it further, you know, when you want to really just go all the way with it,
just give it to me.
It's not just go all the way with it. You know what I'm saying? Just build it. It's just a great experience. But when you can think back to a time when you've been able to use your gift in a great experience, you know, man, that's, you know, that's a blessing. Just to know how that is, just to know what that is. You know, like when you go to somebody else's church, it's a great church, had a great service. That's wonderful. You know, but you a lot of times you don't know. But if the day is coming when the Lord is going to call you to do your own ministry, you know, you had the experience of a great church. You know what it looked like. You know what it feel like, and you want to, you know, mimic that. You know what I'm saying? Versus not ever having that experience and getting called and saying, "What am I supposed to be doing? I have no idea." I have no idea. You know, and not that it's not that it won't come to fruition and be everything that God has for you, but it just makes it a lot better and a lot easier for you to see. You know, when you had that great experience, and that sounds like a great experience to me.
I want to shout out to you, Sister Kenny over here. She's holding us down. She's recording for us. Thank you so much.
Keeping us live, Sister K-Bear. Keeping us live.
We can't do this and that. We love you for it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Live photographer.
That's right. That's right. It helps to have young people who are well versed in the things of Facebook Live.
She makes fun of me.
Things like
I ain't do anything.
No filters. We have very little experience.
Right.
Thank God for your experience.
But just a great experience. And it's good to be able to say, I did that. But not me, but God did that.
That's right.
You know, and I guess I have to take myself out of that, because when God wants to use you, it don't matter. He want to use you. He gonna get his just due.
That's right.
So I'm definitely excited when the CD came out. Everybody was like, "Oh, it sounds good." Of course, we're our worst critic, I guess. And I was like, I don't know how I sound. You know, and people were like, "No, y'all sounded great. Y'all sounded great." But I'm just, you know, I'm always harder on myself, especially when it comes to vocals and come to singing. I'm like, I think I sound different than I talk. I know when I hear myself, I'm like, "Is that me?" You know, I'm like, I don't know if that was me, but everybody, you know, I was just glad to share that with my wife. I'm glad that experience happened. She's always pushing me. Pushing me. I don't know why she keeps pushing me. But, you know, I'm just excited to have
where God wants you to be.
But she's
a little further.
She hold me down, though. I definitely want to appreciate her for that. And everybody, all my family has been in my corner since day one. You know, K-Bear's been in my corner. I always say, you can do it. And so I appreciate all of my loved ones. You guys, my family. I don't know how much it means, you know, for me to see y'all again, and just for us to be in this moment now. So it's exciting. So
we do. It's been great, you know, to see, you know, how much we have in common. You know, see how many things, you know, are just, you know, coinciding. You know, between family and kids, you know, and you know, and opportunities. It's we understand. We know. We know. Okay, so I want to give opportunity. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do. We're going to just have a maybe just general discussion. Something I want to just get some insight on this opportunity to talk about. And I kind of wanted to wait until I got more information on the situation. But community, you know, if something happened in the community not too long ago, a young lady, 13 years old, you know, life was taken in a situation that was kind of foggy, you know, still a little foggy at this point. Siobhan Randall lost her life in a situation. You know, it turns out that the situation had to do with drugs. Right. Didn't really have anything to do with her. Right. But you know, her life ended up being taken in this situation. Also, you know, another young man's life was taken in this situation. And there's been a lot of conversation about it. You know, it's been in the news. You know, it's been all over social media and everything. People have different views, different thoughts. You know, and a lot of those thoughts, you know, as people go too quickly sometimes, criticism. Right. You know, criticizing a lot of the people who are involved or whatever, and not even, like I said, necessarily knowing that, you know, the facts. And it takes a while sometimes. So that's why, you know, I didn't want to speak about it, you know, until now. You know, some of the facts or whatever. You know, they have, you know, a few people in custody. They're still finding out things about that. But what I wanted to start out doing was just saying that, you know, it is such a tragedy. Somebody 13 years old, you know, life being taken. And, you know, not the first time that I've seen a 13-year-old's life, you know, taken early, and not necessarily, you know, them not necessarily, you know, being abreast of the situation. You know, not knowing really what's going on. You know, and their life being taken at 13, but seeing, you know, mother, father, family, and community affected, you know, by that. And you know, so, you know, people would ask, you know, what are we gonna do? How do we stop this? I haven't seen it stop. You know, I haven't seen it stop. But I think the key to any situation like that is having a good understanding. You know, not necessarily blaming people, but you know, just making a difference in your circle and where you can. You know, I just want to give, you know, you all an opportunity also. If you want to speak on it, maybe share, you know, feelings about it.
Oh, well, I certainly just want to, as you said, just extend, you know, my prayers and my thoughts to the family of Siobhan Randall and to Michael Titus, the young man who had also passed as well. And, you know, it just is a reminder of, you know, just how little we all are, in control of, you know, our lives in the grand scheme of things. I mean, that young lady was just where she was supposed to be at that time. You know, we are, you know, teach our children to, you know, be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, and we take comfort in that. But that just is a reminder, unfortunately, that there is no comfort in even what we as people have, you know, become comfortable with. And so I think, you know, where it begins, where it ends, our next step is just to, you know, find comfort in knowing our relationship with the Lord is solid. Because our children, us, each of us are only here for a very small amount of time. And, you know, it's just a matter of wanting to make sure we're putting our hope and our stock in the right thing. Those young people had certainly, in our eyes, long lives to lead, you know, and a long life ahead of them. But you know what? God knows what his intentions are for each of us. And so, you know, we just have to keep in mind that God has the final say. And that young lady's life, we feel, was cut short. But I know that God had a plan and purpose in her here, in her, you know, the tragic events around her death, but also, you know, in the life of her family without her. And so, keeping in mind that, you know, that life is very frail, and that, you know, as adults, as young people, we all just be reminded of what's really important is our relationship with Christ.
That's right.
That's the only thing we have comfort in. Age, you know, we know is no determinant of who comes and who goes. Innocent, unfortunately, is no determinant of who, you know, comes and goes. if you were directly involved in this particular incident.
It rains on the just and
the unjust. Rains on the just and the unjust. That's right. And so it's just a matter of, you know what, Lord, let me find comfort. Let me find strength. Let me take stock in your word. Because after all these things come and go, that's all that's going to remain. Yeah, but it was very sad. And hopefully there's more, you know, growth to come.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
From this pain.
Lady.
I definitely want to piggyback on that. You definitely have to, I guess, have a prayer out for the family. But I think it's a wake-up call.
That's right.
It's definitely a wake-up call for the family. You know, wake-up call for us. You know, like we can say we want to say, but you know, I don't think it's going to stop unless we stop it. You know, we have to really. We can't. You know, we can't predict the future. We don't know. You know, and we're doing right by our children. You know, of course, you guys are taking care of your kids, but like there are so many things that we could be planting. There's more seeds that we can be planting that could have prevented this situation from happening. You know, but I think we, as you know, those who are left behind to kind of mourn her and kind of celebrate her life. You know, 13 years. You know, she was on this earth 13 years, so that should be a wake up call to us. What are we doing? You know, what could we have done in 13 years to kind of, you know, and what can we do going forward to kind of shed light on her and her life and how it was taken away too soon.
That's right.
You know, over nonsense, and I don't know all the details. And all that. I don't need to know all the details. All I know is that she's gone, and that devastated the family. And then the young man that also lost his life. That's another family devastated. Now, how do we move forward?
Right, and I hope it's I'm sorry because I hope it's a wake up call to the young people.
Right.
Because I think, you know, I know when I was a younger person, I felt like I had, you know, more time. You know, you hear, oh, you got your whole life ahead of you.
Right.
Well, who knows how long that is?
Right. True.
You know, and young people, God is calling even you to shine a light in this world for Him. God has a purpose and plan for you. 10, 11, 12, 8, 9. It's never too soon.
Right.
You know, to figure out your purpose and want to have a relationship with the Lord.
And I like the fact that we're setting those examples. And if we set enough examples, then someone is going to be hearing us. You know, a lot of times we think our children are really not listening, but they are.
Right.
You know, sometimes we think we have to fuss or we have to yell to get them to do certain things, but it's good that you have parents there that are fussing, that are yelling, to help them, to kind of steer them. You know, so I believe in that wholeheartedly, that we can change that, but we can have to change it one student at a time, one child at a time.
That's right.
One family at a time. But, you know, back in the day, it was like the family was a village. You know, so now we have to kind of like rebuild these villages because the villages have kind of separated and dispersed. And they're hiding. Now, why they're hiding, I don't know. You know, we used to be able to talk to, you know, to families and tell, you know, other, you know, kids, hey, that's wrong to do that. But now you have to tiptoe and walk on eggshells because, you know, well, you can't talk to my child like that. Well, you can't. But we have to have enough people saying, no, that's wrong. You know, and regardless of, like, you know, like I think the last segment we had a while back was speaking to, you know, talking to people and them getting angry. Well, I would rather, you know, me say something, you get angry, and you make a change.
That's right.
Then versus me just not saying anything at all, and then something happens traumatic.
But that you know somebody cares.
Right. You know, so I'm definitely excited to know that we can definitely do some really, really good things if we're planting seeds and being that positive example. That's what we definitely have to have. We have to be the example. And we can't be afraid to step on some toes.
That's right.
And I think in situations, you know, like what we're talking about now, it's an opportunity for those who care, you know, to show people that they care. You know, not necessarily, you know, the blame. You know, it's not really, you know, in these situations helping anything. You know, placing blame. Or there might be some blame to be placed. A lot of blame. You know, but yet still there are people who need to know that people still care. You know, and it's an opportunity to show that people care. And so, you know, in this moment, I care. You know, but. You know. Hopefully, you know, there are enough other people that actually care enough to not just, you know, weigh in criticism, but you know, people in this situation, you know, they need to, you know that people have a heart. They need to know that people do care. So that's right.
And I guess it goes back to, you know, being light in darkness. I mean, anybody can look critically upon, you know, a situation or something that we, like you said, know just bits and pieces of, even if you knew the full story. It's easy to look critically at something, but God is calling us to be a light for Him in this dark world. And so, you know, for those who are still just, you know, gathering their relationship with the Lord, or if you know your relationship, if your light is small right now, that's okay. Keep you know, investing in your relationship with the Lord, because from small, then it grows, and even a small light in darkness can be seen. So keep shining your light, keep growing in the Lord, and keep growing your light, and hopefully your light will so shine.
I like you said,
for the world.
I like you said, invest.
Yeah.
You know, we have to invest into our young people.
That's right.
And I believe that they see it and they feel it, and they can tell when other people are not genuine.
Right.
As far as, are you really investing in me because you really care about me?
Right.
Or are you investing in me because you want me to do what you want me to do?
Right.
You know, so we have to definitely make sure that people, you know, that our children and their friends can see positive examples around, because there are other families that don't have that positive example.
That's right.
And the reason why they don't know.
That's right.
Their parents didn't have a positive example, so they couldn't teach a positive example.
Yeah.
So it's good that our children are saved, and we're preaching that to them. And then when they go out to other schools and when they're with their friends, they can act saved in front of their friends. So their friends will know, hey, well, it's cool to not sag my pants. It's cool to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know, just speaking on something you were saying a while ago about kind of what can we do. You know, I just had a thought on, you know, joining groups and organizations that are focused on making a difference in young people's lives. Yeah. You know, and something I own up in age a little bit. Paul called me old. Being old. I can tell you, you know, not too long ago. I had my first camping trip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Went on the camping trip overnight. Took my son. Went on the son with me. He's 12. And
who else did you say?
Joined the Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay.
Joined the Boy Scouts. Joined the Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay.
Joined the Boy Scouts.
Come on,
and so since I had a son, it was okay. So I was telling him, get my son in there. I take him in there.
Yeah.
And we went, had fun, man, and spent the night. But there were so many other young children there. And you know, not necessarily that their parents weren't available, but they were there with us. And so it was myself, another father, and about 4 scout leaders. We had a great time, but like I said, I've never had the opportunity to do that. And had I been given the opportunity when I was younger, I probably would have told, no, I'm playing football, baseball, basketball, track. I ain't even Boy Scout. No, I'm not going to watch that. You know. And so when the opportunity came to take him in, he really enjoyed it. You know. Got to have fun with a bunch of other kids. You know. And I've seen a lot just with it, and mentoring other kids and having the opportunity to talk to other kids. And you know, some you see are not used to, you know, coming together with groups of other, you know, children and adults, and you know, they may need a little more supervision, you know. But those are the ones that you want in there the most. You know, and some of them, like, this might be their last trip. You know, they showing out. You know, he showed out last time. You showed out last time. You know, and I just well, he really needs this because you know he doesn't have that support. He doesn't have you know the experiences that he's going to get here with this. So he needs to be in this. So there are a lot of children, you know, and what I found out with that is. You get a certain amount of badges, you know, you get to a certain level, and the top level you get to Eagle Scout. You become an Eagle Scout, they help with your education. That's right. They help you with your education. You know, and like other sororities and fraternities, you know, that you're in. You know, you have a brotherhood, you know, you have other people. You know, around who you run into in different places, different parts of your life, and they support you. That's right. You know, so to find that out, I was like, wow, this is a great opportunity. You know, more children should be taking, you know, advantage of this. That's right. But what I also know in our community, locally, when people hear about it, you know, they don't necessarily know exactly what it is. They've never given it a good enough look, you know, to know how their kids can benefit from it. A lot of times you hear people just say what they know about it, talk about their experiences with it.
What they heard on TV.
Well, yeah, and I understand you may not appreciate it, but what's the other option?
Yeah.
You know, to just let these children, you know, take part in whatever is going on in the neighborhood or around, or just, you know, trying to find, you know, how they're going to spend their time and just being bored, or, you know, that leaves them open, you know, to opportunities to get involved in certain things that, you know, they shouldn't.
Right.
You know.
And see, you're speaking about a time investment. See, and I just mentioned, you know, investing in our communities and things like that. And then, Brother Pop, you mentioned, you know, as far as children, you know, wanting to know if you're really going to be there, if you know, you're just wanting them to do something, you know, you're investing for a moment. Right. You know, I think a lot of times we're, as a group, are thrown off by the word investment because it is usually to denote money. But young people want your time. They're not as concerned with your money because what they know is it's easy to throw a few dollars here and dismiss me. Right. But what we need is an investment in your time with us, and that time you spend, you know, going on camping trips or being, you know, a part of an organization sponsored by a fraternity or a sorority or a church group. Don't worry if your money isn't quite right. Your community, the young people around you, the young salt of the world needs your time. Right. Your time.
Right. And you know, and you know, with that said, it's with those type of things, it's discipline. Yeah. You know, when you're raising your children, if they've never been introduced to a certain discipline, you know, then they don't have the opportunity to benefit from it. Right. You know, and that's what, you know, that's what a lot of these things are, these little clubs or, you know, youth associations, you know, non-profit events and camps and all those things. It's an opportunity to introduce children who haven't been introduced to discipline, type of discipline.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
Yeah, house rules. You know. Yeah. School rules. Right. You know, that's you know, that's just the basics. You know. That's right. The bottom level discipline, but when you get involved in other clubs, you know, after school clubs, you know, sports, some of those things, you know, the most valuable thing about that is it teaches you a discipline. It teaches you a certain way of thinking. You know? And when you adopt those ways of thinking, those disciplines, then disorder and chaos really doesn't have, you know, any place, you know, in the way you think or the way you live. You know, like DJ Majesty was, you know, saying earlier, you know, you're out of mind. You're just sitting around, you know, you know, you're trying to find ways, you know, to spend your time or different things to invest in, and they're not necessarily positive.
That's right.
You know, and it doesn't always just affect you; it affects other people.
That's right. That's right.
And I would love to spotlight. You know, we have a youth group that we work with, Dallas Metropolitan, and they're doing some positive things. I've been working with them as an ombudsman for several years, and we actually plant seeds. And we have been able to, you know, K-Bear, Kenny, she's been able to be with the group up until she graduated. And she can always come back and, you know, and serve, and it taught her a lot. I was able to put my kids, you know, my kids are now involved in it. I'm a, you know, Phi Beta Sigma, you know, my fraternity. We have our Sigma Beta to deal with our young boys, and, you know, because my frat brother, Charles Bowens, he actually is Boy Scout too. So he's a Boy Scout leader, and he actually incorporated that into our Sigma Beta Club. So
prepare for life.
Exactly. So
prepare for life.
Right. So we're touching them in a positive way. They're able to see men in the blue and white doing some positive things. Also to see the Boy Scouts actually doing some things and taking them on camping trips and all different types of things, but basically spending that time.
That's right.
Investing in them, letting them know, hey, you know, it's not just to drop your kids off and say, hey, you take care of my kid, but we have to have a relationship with those parents. So it's not just about, you know, hey, well, this is Sigma blue and white. No, we're investing in your child. Now, we would love them to go blue and white. But most importantly, we want them to know that they have somebody that they can call on. Hey, I'm your friend. I'm your brother. I'm your big brother. I'm your dad. I can be that dad figure that a lot of these boys don't have.
That's right.
You know, so and being a school teacher, you know, Lady O can attest to this. We become you know, parents to a ton of kids.
That's right.
You know, I go home or with my kids, when K-Bro would come to the school, he'd be like, Mr. Brown, who is this? Yeah. But we become those surrogate, you know, parents that these kids so desperately need.
That's right.
You know, and then sometimes we get frustrated, of course. Yeah. Oh, that boy gets on my nerves, but they need us.
That's right.
And they need that structure, and they want it.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm excited that God planted us in how He did. He did a good thing by placing us in education and in the community in strategic locations.
That's right.
So that we can be served and be those servant leaders, like you were saying.
That's right.
So we have to lead.
Yeah, you know, and you know, speaking about, you know, the youth and doing these things with the youth, you know, there are a lot of adults, you know, that have never had these experiences, that have never adopted or had a, you know, a good look, you know, at the disciplines that are out here. Yeah. You know, and
that's right.
You know.
Yeah. I think it's a wonderful thing. Just, you know, the reason that our young people, you know, desire our time, because, you know, they know that they are truly deserving of it. They are worth our time and the relationship that, you know, our time requires. And so shout out to the youth church leaders, to the teachers, to the coaches, to the Boy Scout troop leaders, to the Girl Scout troop leaders, and all the organizations within the city that are, you know, doing things in our community. Keep it up, keep doing it. We are products of a community that someone reached out and reached down and touched us. And so we just want to encourage you just to keep serving and keep, you know, becoming the change in the community that these young people that are coming deserve, because they truly, you know, that they deserve that relationship and that time with us. So keep it up, guys. Coaches, teachers, you got a little bit more of a break. Don't worry. School will be back in sooner than you're ready. You know, and those that are serving in church and those that are serving, like we said, in the community, keep it up, because the young people, the young salt of our community is in need of it. So, thank y'all for mentioning that.
Yeah, so, you know. Sea salt. Need a sea salt.
Exactly. And I think we need to put that number out there again. 214-541-4483.
All right.
So we would love to hear you guys call in, and if you had any questions or you want to kind of chime in on something we've already discussed, you guys can do that.
That's right. And tune in. Godsquad Radio.
That's right. StudioWorld.com.
That's right. Godsquad Radio.
Pastor O, Lady O.
Yes, sir.
Minister Paul Brown.
Yes,
and DJ Majesty.
Come on, DJ
Majesty. Okay, I want to give you one more opportunity. We're going to play one more song from Minister Paul Brown, and then we're going to pray this thing on out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's. I guess we can do someday.
Right.
Someday. Godsquad Radio.
Sit your tail down.
Sit your tail down. Godsquad Radio is on.
Godsquad.
StudioWorld.com.
To the world.
Studio Life. Studio Life, man. Stu Gang. 214 Stu Gang.
I want to see you someday. I want to talk to you face to face. Please bless me with your countenance someday.
Tower singing now.
Though it is not
Certainly want to thank Minister Paul for bringing that in. Shout out to Tyra that sung, led that song there, and the song entitled "Someday." Again, we just want to make sure that we send shout out to the Pastor Lawrence Hart and Tahila Praise for Vision to Reality. That's the music that was featured on today's show. And I'm just reminded of the fact that not only do we want to see him someday, but he wants to see us. He wants a relationship with us. God is wanting a fellowship with you. And so we don't want to ever be remiss if there is those that are listening that have been inspired and have been led to Christ by this broadcast. We certainly want you to know that Christ is looking to see you and looking to fellowship with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pastor said we're going to do an invitation. So, just to those that are with us, that are tuning in, that are listening, if you know that the Lord has touched your heart where you're sitting and you desire a relationship with Him, please feel free just to take a moment and just close your eyes and just think to yourself and say this prayer with us at where you're sitting, where you are right at this moment. Just, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I accept you into my life, Father. Lord, I know that you died on the cross for my sins. You were raised 3 days later, Father. And we know that you desire a relationship with us. Come into my heart. Come into my life. Lord, I want to be changed. I want to live for you.
Yes, God.
Lord, and we believe on this day that if you prayed that prayer with us, Father, that you join a local church and you begin to nurture the light that the Lord has given you, and that you stay within your lane, the Lord will elevate you to a life that He has promised for you, a life, Lord, of good things, Lord, of positive things, and He wants to see you as well. Thank you for listening in with us, Pastor Minister Paul Brown.
Yes, we're just excited that you guys listened in to us. We're so appreciative of all the love that you guys have showed us. We definitely appreciate it. This is GodsquadRadio, StudioWorld.com, and we ask you guys to be blessed and have a good night.
Absolutely.
There it is. God Squad Radio, StudioWorld.com. Sit your tail down.
That's right.
God Squad Radio is on.
Every Sunday night. Sunday nights.
Sunday night, 7 to 8.
And be blessed and have a great week.
Great week.
Great week.
Sunday I gotta go back to work.
That's right.
God Squad.
God Squad.
All right.
Radio.
We out. We out.
Be blessed.
All right.